Does Mazda CX-30 meet or beat the competition? Well, we'll find out on this episode of The Real DC Car Guy. Hey guys, it's William West Hopper from The Real DC Car Guy, and Mazda has sent us over the 2021 CX-30 all-wheel drive in prestige trim for us to check out. Let's have a look. Mazda is known for its intelligent cars for intelligent people since back in the day of the 1970s with the rotary-powered engined vehicles. Now here we are in 2021, and all-wheel drive SUVs and crossovers are all the craze. Is this a crossover, or is this Mazda's smallest SUV? Well, let's take a look at it. SUV-wise, it's got the body side cladding that kind of feel SUV-esque in my opinion. It's got all-wheel drive, and as you know from previous videos, if it has all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, I put it more on the SUV side. But look at the size of it. Look at the height of it. It does fit that crossover market. So the question is, and you may get to make this decision, and write it down in the comments if you want, is it an SUV or is it a crossover? My thoughts on it are that it has a little bit of both. With the body side cladding, it gets that SUV look. With the size, the length, and the height of it, it's more of a crossover. But it is a four-door vehicle with a hatch, which allows plenty of cargo room and plenty of passenger space. The 2021 Mazda CX-30 has great design lines, four doors, and a nice sized hatch that you can get things in and out of with ease. This is a great car for those folks that are looking for a small all-wheel drive vehicle that can carry the family, can carry their cargo, but also is really easy to park because of its short length. It is a great car with lots and lots of safety and the things that you're going to need in a small vehicle for today's needs. It's not really long. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I'm parking this vehicle, I have to put it in reverse to check the rear view camera to see if I'm actually too far in or out of the parking space. And that's something that I've done more often than not with this car. So what's it like to drive the CX-30? Well, let's go ahead and take it for a spin. All right, here we go. Now that beep beep was telling me that there's traffic around me, so that's helpful. So the 210 horsepower of the 2.5 Skyactiv four-cylinder engine with the turbo does come in handy, certainly when you're needing to power up and get onto an on-ramp here like we're doing. And as I said, we have the rear cross traffic there. The rear blind spot tells us where everybody is. That does help. It beeps at me and telling me that there is somebody in my blind spot, which is very, very nice. And it's a very good handling vehicle on the highway. I'm going to put it up into sport mode. Not that it needs to be in sport mode. I've really found that driving in the regular mode is just fine. But right now we're running around in sport. As you can see, during traffic like this, it's doing very well. It sees what's around me. I'm getting a little indicator on my driver's dash display that this car here was in my blind spot. So that's very, very useful. All right, let's pop over here and get off on this exit. So the 2.5 Skyactiv four-cylinder turbo engine in this Mazda CX-30 is the same engine that we saw in our previous Mazda review in the Mazda 3 hatchback. And we've got to say that this is a very powerful and performance-oriented engine. Mileage has been a little underwhelming at just over 19 miles per gallon, but we haven't really been doing a whole lot of highway driving, and we have been using the air conditioning a lot, but very impressed with it. Now on the road, the car handles like its brother, the MX-5 Miata. It hugs the corners, it zips around, it's very tight, it's very roadworthy. The only thing that I found that I'm not overly thrilled about is that the suspension is very harsh, and it really, really does hit those bumps and potholes very hard. The CX-30 is well sized for that urban or suburban lifestyle. It's got 4 doors that are easy to get into and out of. Now you may remember my video with the Mazda 3 hatchback where I had trouble getting in and out of some of the rear doors. Not on this vehicle. This one is very easy to get in and out of, and it has a large hatch and cargo area, which I have found quite useful. It has these nice aluminum rails that already have built-in spots up top to put the cross members if you're carrying something on the roof. But you may not really need to carry a whole lot on the roof of this vehicle because inside is quite roomy, cargo and passengers at the same time. One of the things that we really like in vehicles today is the kick under or the proximity sensor for the rear hatch to open. This CX-30 does not have that. Now you can unlock the hatch with the key, of course. And what's nice is that you can re-close the hatch by pushing the hatch button on the key fob. And that's very helpful. Or going ahead and finding that right spot to hit right above the license plate to activate the rear hatch. One of the things that let many vehicles have these days is the automatic hatch close, and it has an automatic lock if you want to lock all 4 doors and the hatch of this vehicle. Now, if you want to make sure that it's locked, hit that lock button, and the horn lets you know that the car is securely locked and the alarm system is on. Now, inside it's pretty clean. That's one of Mazda's Kodo design features. So the infotainment system works very nicely with a very simple map. You can move over to your various entertainment channels. The home button is there, kind of. That's the nice thing about Mazda, is there's nothing going on that's sort of crazy. You can set pretty much everything the way you want to set it. There's not a lot of menus to go down through, and it's just really very easy to use. The HVAC system, very simple to use here. One of the things that we're not overly thrilled about is the fact that there's only one USB port and it's hidden down there. And there is another USB port in the center console, and then there is a 12-volt port there as well. Let's have a look in here. No USB ports in the glove box. So that's that. Control is very simple. The one thing that I think that our more mature audience will like is the fact that there is a standard stick shift controller for the automatic transmission, and it is an automatic with a manual. You can put it over there and do the manual. There are also gear shift levers here on the steering wheel if you want to do it that way. So if you want to shift the old-fashioned way on an automatic, you can move it over to the left, push it forward to downshift, back to upshift, and then of course you can use the paddle shifters on the steering wheel as well. So this is no doubt really going to be a real safe vehicle, and especially for some older drivers. And I think that older drivers are the ones who are going to find this vehicle most compelling to own, because it's the right size, it's not big, it's not flashy, and it's very comfortable, and it has a lot of space inside for cargo as well as for passengers. So one of the really nice things about this little car is that it has a very tight turning circle, which is great for a all-wheel drive vehicle, and especially if you're going to use it in an urban environment or you need to get in and out of tight spaces. So very pleased with that aspect of it. So let's talk about price. I've got the Moroni sticker here for a 2021 Mazda CX-30. And while this vehicle is $35,995, and what does that include? The $33,900 base price of the Premium Plus package all-wheel drive with a 2.5 turbo engine of the CX-30. Now this vehicle has some add-ons. Cargo cover of $150, floor mats of $125, and these are all-weather rubber floor mats and well worth the price. Soul Red Crystal Metallic paint, which is fabulous on Mazdas. That's a $595 add-on. Pre-delivery inspection is no charge. Rear bumper guard, a stainless rear bumper guard, $125. And this also has the Turbo Premium Plus package, which includes driver, exterior auto dim mirror, traffic jam assist, home link, front and rear parking sensors, 360-degree view monitor, rear cross traffic braking, and rear smart city brake support. So all of that comes to $34,895. This vehicle has an $1,100 delivery and processing and handling fee, bringing up to $35,995. Fuel economy is expected to be between 22 for city and 30 highway, so averaging 25 miles to the gallon. Let's have a look and see what. So this vehicle is averaging 19.7 miles per gallon, and that's a good mix of city and highway driving. So 19.7, which basically comes in right at their point of 22 cities. So it comes in under their 22 city, but of course we've been running the air conditioning heavily since it is June here in Washington, D.C., and it is hot and humid and sunny, so that's something to think about. So who's going to buy this car? Most likely it's going to be a family that has downsized, more of a couple that is matured and has maybe retired, and they're looking for a solid and dependable runabout vehicle to carry 4 passengers, possibly 5, and of course cargo for those short trips around or those trips to the family. Now this is not going to be a big cross-country road trip car, and I don't think anybody who buys that's going to use it for that, but going to the market, going to church, going around your daily life, this is going to be a perfect vehicle for that. So let's talk about the things that we like in this vehicle. The simplicity of Mazda's interior design is excellent. The classic lines of the exterior, top-notch. The tight turning radius that this vehicle has, especially as it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, very good for that. Handling is good. Actually, it's better than good. Handling is excellent. I'm very pleased with how this handles on twisty roads, on the highway, on ramps and off ramps, those clover leafs. It just really held tightly to those clover leaves and made you feel like you had a good command of the road. The other thing that I really like about it is I like the center screen. I like how easy it is to use. It doesn't have anything that you don't need on it. It has the map, it has the Sirius XM radio if you're subscribed, HD radio, it has all of that. Just very easy to go through the menus to find all the settings. I also really like in Mazdas their heads-up display, and one of the reasons that I like that is because it's clear. Even when you're wearing polarized sunglasses, it's clear. You can see what's going on. Your speed is there. All the information you need is there. It also is very good because it sees the stop signs. It saw that little stop sign that we just passed, which said stop for pedestrians, and it's seeing this stop sign ahead of us. It also sees the speed limit sign, so it tells you what the speed limit in the area is. Like we're in a 25-mile-an-hour zone right now in a residential zone, and it pops that up on the heads-up display. So you can see that right next to your digital speed readout, which is just very, very important, I think. when you're driving anywhere these days, and when you can look out the windshield and not be distracted by having to look down at your center gauge controls or at your driver's gauge controls. Very nice on that. So, what is it that we don't like about the vehicle? Now, what I don't like about the vehicle is the harsh ride of it. Now, that I'm very surprised about how harsh this little vehicle rides, considering that it's a Mazda. And the Mazda 3 hatch that we drove was nowhere near like that. It had a much more compliant ride than this. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Real DC Car Guy as we look at cars and trucks that fit the Washington, D.C. lifestyle. And we feel that this is the proper small SUV for living in an urban environment. It has the ride of an SUV, it has the cladding around, it has the look of an SUV. Follow us for more car and truck reviews. If you like this video, please smash that like button and follow us here on The Real DC Car Guy for more car and truck reviews. Until next time.